Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tatiana Show. It is September 26, 2018. I can't believe it's this late in the year, but it is, and time is marching on. Crypto markets are wiling out, and I've been gone for a long time. You could probably tell from this very nice tan that I have. Josh, what's up? I just saw you on a boat. It was awesome. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you too, Tatiana. Yeah, we were on the blockchain cruise. Very exciting stuff. We're going to have to do a whole show about it next time. But,
yeah, we're doing a show next week, guys, about all my travels, and we're going to talk a little bit about conferences. I think that's what we'll do next week. We'll see. But now I'm back to a regular schedule. I just got back. I was in Mallorca and all sorts of places, Poland, Barcelona, Italy. So, but now I'm back in the saddle, and we've got 4 guests today. It's like an action-packed, really quick action show. But before we talk to our guests, I want to talk about the mail. Because as a high-powered traveling lady, I don't have time to go to the post office. The post office is cool. They're very nice there. But you know what? It's very hard to get there, especially if you have lots of stuff to do. And maybe you want to send something out in the middle of the night and you can't do it. So I am happy to announce that one of our sponsors is Stamps.com. You've probably seen their ads everywhere. I've always seen them, and I always wanted their little you know, what do you call it? The little measuring thing, weight scale thing. So yeah, I have a scale coming in the mail. And as soon as I get that, I'm going to be able to click, print, and mail any kind of mail. It could be like a post, like a package. It could be a letter. It could be anything. 24 hours, 7 days a week. Click, print, mail, and I'm done. And like I said, you get a free digital scale with that. So I'm pretty excited. Do you wish that you had this in Berlin? I wonder if they have it overseas.
I really wish I could have this. You could almost wrap this out. I got a scale in the mail. It gets me amped thinking about stamps. I don't know, something like that.
That's really, really very good. Anyway, I'm excited to use it and send it out. I have like different kind of packages. Sometimes when people are ordering something from my website, TatianaRose.com, perhaps they want to order some CDs. I can use my Stamps.com, and it's going to weigh the stuff. So I am never wrong with how much I have to send out, so I don't have to overpay or anything like that. And I recommend that you guys check out Stamps.com. If you use the special offer code MOROSE, you will get a 4-week trial, and it will include postage and a digital scale. And go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. Click on the radio microphone at the top of the homepage. Type in MOROSE, and then that's when you get your special offer. Check out Stamps.com. You don't have to go to the post office. You can save your time, stay home, cook your friends a meal or something like that. Anyway, on to the show. First up, we have Lynn Ulbricht, ladies and gentlemen. Lynn is going to give us a little bit about what's going on with Ross. If you've been online, you know that he's got a Twitter account, so you can get sort of up-to-date information. But things are getting a little crazy in the prison. If we could bring Lynn on camera, that'd be great. Lynn, it's really nice to have you on the show again. You've been on with us, of course, several times before. For people that don't know, Lynn Ulbricht is the mother of Ross Ulbricht, the founder of, or the alleged founder of the Silk Road, currently serving double life plus 40 years in a maximum security prison in Colorado. Lynn, thank you so much for joining us today. What's the latest on the campaign?
Thank you, Tatiana. It's always fun to see you. Well, the campaign is that one of the main things is that we have a petition for clemency, meaning we're asking the president to commute Ross's barbaric sentence of double life plus 40 years without parole for all nonviolent charges. This is just an abomination. It's counter to our values in this country, and it sets a terrible precedent for the excessive sentencing that's going on in the United States, filling our prisons, making us the leading incarcerator in the world. So this, please go to freeross.org/petition and sign it if you think this sentence is wrong, excessive. You know, you don't have to even think Ross is a great person or anything. Just the sentence for nonviolent charges for a first-time offender, double life plus 40 years without parole. So please sign the petition. My goal is 500,000. It's very ambitious. We have over 83,000 now. And I think if we really spread the word, please share it as well. Share it with, on your, in your community. We can do this in a grassroots movement.
Yeah, the signatures have come a long way. I saw the signatures of booming, and there's a massive movement starting to really come back to this, which is super important because, like you said, the whole Ross incarceration debacle is really highlighting the injustice that there is in the U.S. Justice Department for nonviolent crimes. It's ridiculous, and it's great to see these signatures popping up left, right, and center.
Yeah, it's really heartening. It's really encouraging to us, and it's especially just to paint a picture. Ross has been put in a maximum security prison because of the sentence. His actual security score would put him in a low security prison, including the charges, but because he has this barbaric sentence, he's in with violent gangs and violent people. And recently he refused to participate in an assault on another inmate. And that, because he's a peaceful guy, he's a nonviolent person. He doesn't go beating people up. He doesn't go hurting people. That's not who Ross is, despite what you might read in the media. And so he put himself in jeopardy by refusing, because now he's a target. So he put himself into protective custody 2 weeks ago. He's been in solitary for 2 weeks, you know, hoping to get moved to somewhere that is more safe. So his phone calls are cut off now. When I visit, instead of in person, I'm doing it through a monitor with a headset, terrible audio. And, you know, he doesn't have books. But Ross is being Ross. Is like, well, I'm treating this like a meditation retreat, and I'm, you know, catching up on my sleep, and I'm, you know, just trying to be tranquil and meditating a lot, and just really taking advantage of the solitude. So that's how Ross's brain works. He never complains. He makes the best out of solitary confinement. So
wow, what an inspiration, really.
He inspires me. I'm like, oh, I wish I could be as positive sometimes. But anyway, so we've got to, you know, I really feel like it's important to let people know through the petitions. Easy thing. It takes a minute or two, the most, not even, to sign this and join our movement to be able to present to the president. There's 500,000 people, please, who are saying, please pay attention to this. Please consider this. And, you know, Ross is not who the media paints him to be. And, you know, or the government paints him to be, for that matter.
A quick reminder on that, because a lot of times people, when they are not familiar with the Silk Road case, they say, oh, well, what about the murder for hire? And that was recently, those charges were completely dropped. So not only was he never tried or convicted, they've dropped all charges against him, which is crazy because it was used in the sentencing as a justification for the harshness of the sentence.
Correct. It definitely enhanced the sentence, and it was never convicted. The jury never ruled on it. It was never proven. Just prosecutors said so informally, and the judge decided, well, I think it's true, which basically is depriving Ross of the right to a jury trial. One judge is not supposed to decide your fate when you're the accused. That's why we have a 6th Amendment to the Bill of Rights, which says that you have a right to a jury. 12 people decide, and you would hope that they would have diverse opinions and be your peers, which, you know, we can talk about. But in any case, at least it's 12 people and not one judge who's decided, oh, yeah, I believe the prosecutors. Okay, put him in a cage for the rest of his life.
Well,
absolutely.
And it's all in peril, okay?
Judge Dredd.
It's all in peril. Go ahead.
Well, there seems to be just an epidemic of nonviolent drug offenders that are being given life in the United States. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because it goes beyond just Ross's case.
Absolutely. And in fact, Ross organized a photo of some of his friends in there who are all nonviolent drug offenders serving life. We posted it. It's a very powerful photo. And there, you know, a good friend of his in there, Tony, he's doing life for marijuana selling 13 years ago. He's been in 13 years in the federal prisons in Colorado where it's legal. This is horrible. Life sentence for selling marijuana. And
wow, that's insane. And so even with the new legalities, his case hasn't been re-brought up.
Well, it's only legal on the state level, still illegal on the federal level. The feds can go in, and in fact, Jeff Sessions was urging them to go into states even where it was legal and start, you know, scarfing people up for marijuana. So, yeah, and there's many. In fact, there's, I believe, 17, according to the Sentencing Project, 17,000 nonviolent people serving life. And, you know,
how much is that a year? How much is that? Right, exactly.
And also, it's actually metastasized It's quintupled 5 times since the drug war, life sentences. They just give them out now. It's like, oh no, big deal. Life, 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 life. What is going on in our country? Land of the free.
Very, very scary.
Really, really wrong. And I know some of the families of these guys, these people serving life. I've even casually met the guys in the visiting room. Give me a break. These people, you know, look, you can argue drugs and all, but life, people change, people mature, people, you know, they're not violent. They're not a threat.
And the economic value that's being taken out of America for the bright minds that might be put away, the families that are destroyed, that can't function properly anymore because they're suffering through this, is really, it's got to be an astronomical number. And so it's so ridiculous to think, hey, let's take this astronomical number out of the economic environment of America and place it into an industrial prison complex and allow them to profit from this, and meanwhile destroy families and lives. It's absolutely ludicrous. And you know, folks, again, freeross.org. Go there. It's very easy to type in and click on that and you know, drop your email in.
Yeah, big red banner for the petition. And by the way, the economic point is that it's costing taxpayers. It has cost taxpayers over $1 trillion, the drug war. So
I wonder how much it is per prisoner. What is it per prisoner per year?
I'm not sure per year. I think it's in the 30,000s. And for a lifetime, it would be about $2 million per person if they live, you know, a fair amount of time. And yeah, it's very expensive. And the thing is, it's not stopping drug use. That's the joke. They can't even keep drugs out of the prison. Never mind stopping drug use outside the prison.
Well,
it's not about that, of course. It's about money and power, and that's what they're using, like they do many wars.
Yeah, and I've seen a good example. In fact, you can see that read somewhere an article recently where the price of drugs have dropped so dramatically, and really the price of drugs shows that demand and supply has gone up, especially supply. So because that means it's getting cheaper and cheaper. So this ludicrous war isn't doing anything but promoting this industry instead of controlling it. It's absolutely ludicrous. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I said before, when you're in a business of making money off human beings, keeping them in prison and soaking the taxpayer, that is human trafficking, isn't it? You're making money off of human beings. Our government is engaged in human trafficking.
Well, where can people see you? Okay, they can go to freeross.org. Do you have any upcoming appearances that you want to announce? I know you've got an important call today. There's always lots of action going on with this trial and everything, this ordeal. But where can people see you talk live about this and learn a little bit more?
Yeah, we have there's the CanMed conference at UCLA. I'm going to speak about the drug war. And then I hope to speak at the Texas Bitcoin conference in between, and then go to World CryptoCon in Vegas, which is going to be a big conference and a lot of fun. And so, yeah, I'm going to have a little, I'm going to have a little run of conferences, which I always enjoy. It's where I really get to meet people and network with people. It's great.
Yep, that's in October. So if you guys want to find out more, please go to freeross.org. Lynn, thank you so much for coming on and giving us an update. Good luck with everything, and we'll be sure to have you on again soon to hear the latest. And please give Ross our best, okay?
Oh, I will. I'm hopeful to see him Saturday. Okay.
Okay. Fingers crossed.
Lynn. Thanks for your great work.
Thanks so much. Awesome. So that was always good to get, a little fired up. But now we're going to ease it back because there's a lot of really cool things happening in the space and a lot of good events. I actually wanted to bring up Frederick Steinmann, who reached out to me about doing something with Mondo.NYC, which is a music festival that has sort of like a tech angle, and they have some really interesting history. I'm going to be on a panel on October 4th with Fred and some other people from the team over there, and I wanted to get basically a little rundown about what is Mondo New York. Maybe some people in the area want to come in and find out. And hearing about that intersection of music and technology, I think is probably right up a lot of listeners' alleys. Thanks so much, Fred, for joining us today.
Yeah, well, it's tough to follow Lynn Ulbricht, like to hear that story, a mother advocating for her son is so moving. And, that's kind of why I left. You started talking about like the financial angle of prisons. And, I actually did a calculation because, I'm a finance guy. And each prisoner is worth about like $1.4 million to a prison corporation. And these are like financial statements that are public record. And, we could probably talk more offline and go, yeah. And while I was on Wall Street, I was so moved. This was like something where I'm like, I got to do something where I'm making a difference in the world. And what it led me to was, a friend of mine that, the opposite of actually war isn't peace, it's creativity. And then like one day I had like a little bit of an eye-opening experience. It's like, find a new way for artists to get paid. This was like back in 2014, before I heard about Bitcoin, crypto. I had no clue what it looks like. So I left my job and spent the next 4 years looking, and here I am at Mondo. We've got, it's kind of like we're an early South by Southwest in Brooklyn. That's what we're doing. Brooklyn is like the epicenter of human creativity right now. It's cool. Everybody wants to be there. And we're trying to blend two unlike things. We put together such a kick-ass event and nobody's really heard about it, especially on the tech and the crypto community. Like when we share about panels, who we have speaking, they're like, this is very music heavy. And then, some music people I spoke to, this is very tech heavy. So that says to me, we're on the right track. We're in like this new and uncomfortable, like numinous space. Like we're really creating something new. And, Tatiana's panel is, I'm not actually on the panel, but who's going to be on there is Jesse Grushak from Ujo. Probably the most noteworthy person. We've got Marcy Grambo from Menlo.1. She'll be moderating. And we have this guy, Anthony Demikin, who works for this company, earcandy.shop. And what they do is they find licensing for new musicians. And Tatiana, as an artist that it's tough out there to get paid. Everybody's trying to hustle you, take advantage of you, come play for free, play for exposure. But, over time, what blockchain is going to solve when the artists and creative industry is like, okay, you get eyeballs there. And if those eyeballs turn to conversions, we could track and account for how much value you're bringing to the proposition. So you could build it into a smart contract, like, okay, give me 5% of conversions. And if your content goes viral, boom, it's very simple. Like a lot of people don't talk about how accounting or blockchain is an accounting innovation. And the last time we had an innovation in accounting, and I'm so surprised nobody in the space knows this, was back to the Age of Enlightenment with Leonardo da Vinci, like a contemporary of da Vinci. This guy, I might butcher his name. My Italian is so-so. I got more Brooklyn Italian than Roman Italian. Luca Pacioli. And back then, there was like this whole war with like the Vatican. They wanted to control like the finances. They took literally no usury. But if you had bankers who actually were adding a business proposition, the double entry accounting was used to say, if the Medici's deposit gold in Venice and withdraw in Florence, we're providing a service to them, and then we should have some sort of markup built into that. And with blockchain, we're in very, very early stages of what this is going to look like. But I'm going to spend the rest of my life looking how to make this work. And with Mondo, my partner in Mondo, this guy Bobby Haber, and I wish Bobby could join us. He's been an advocate for emerging artists since the early 80s. He ran this company that not too many people outside of the music industry know, CMJ. They discovered, curated, they were actually known as the quote unquote indie artist incubator. And they discovered people You probably heard of back from REM, Eminem, Nirvana, up until Lady Gaga, Kendrick Lamar. And at Mondo, we're actually going to have 150 of these emerging acts playing and performing at, I think, 6 to 8 venues all across Brooklyn. And Tatiana, are you playing there? I was actually meaning to follow up with the A&R guys.
Yeah, I'm playing at the Well on the 4th. So I'm going to go meet up with Will after my panel, and then we're going to do a rehearsal, and then we'll head over there. So that's going to be fun.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
I never go to Brooklyn, by the way. I feel like I've never gotten to Brooklyn more than I have in the past few months. But I guess I'll be there again, so it'll be fun. I'm a Jersey girl. It's hard to get there from Jersey.
Yeah, that's a schlep, as they say in Brooklyn.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because right into Midtown, it's only 20 minutes. But I know Brooklyn's cool, blah, blah, blah. And it will be cool because I'll be there playing music and hanging with other Mondo people. I'm excited to connect with other people. What else? Like, okay, so we've got the emerging kind of tech thing that we're covering with what we're doing. But what are some of the other panels about? If people come to Mondo, what else can they expect to see there?
Okay, let me pull up. Let's see. We have actually 2 really big keynotes. We got Todd Morley from this, I think it's like an investment fund, a Y2X, and he was the co-founder of Guggenheim, which had, if you're outside of Wall Street, you might not know that, but they were a 300 billion assets under management fund. So this guy has access to big capital, and he's going to be sharing his views on the space and how the big institutional money are looking to invest into the space. And then also we have Aaron Steinberg from Singular DTV doing a 20-minute keynote about decentralizing the entertainment industry.
Awesome. How much are tickets anyway? And like what is, it's over a few days, right?
Yeah, we've got 3 days and 4 nights. And at 4 nights, there's going to be, we talked about 150 artists. Tickets right now, actually, at midnight, there's a $350 ticket that expires, and they go up to $400 after midnight. And if you actually use Tatiana's discount code, which is Mondo, MONDO, artist coin, all one word, all lowercase, you get a 30% discount off these tickets. And right now we have 24 hours. You get the lowest possible price that you're going to have from now into the event. And, you know, and don't hesitate, you know, you could get walk-ups, but the walk-up rate's going to be $500.
Yeah, I mean, Tatiana's, you're perfect for this sort of thing. I mean, you are a trailblazer in this whole technology versus music side of things, with Tatiana Coin being the first digital token for artists. It's really amazing. So I'm so sad that I can't make it. I'm very, very sad.
Well, I think hopefully some people here. Yeah, exactly. Josh, we can make it out there. And I don't know, hopefully I'll get to meet with other people from the space. I know that there's a lot of cross sections going on. So anything else that people need to know about Mondo before we wrap it up? Anything to lure them in? I feel like we've already given them enough, but where can they go and where can they connect online? Because I want people to promote this. Even if you can't come and you think that this is a cool event, feel free to give us a tweet. You can tweet it from My Queen Tatiana. I'm sure I'll be promoting it. What's the socials and stuff for you guys? Where can people connect?
Okay, on Twitter, we're at Mondo New York, one word. On Instagram,
NY or
at
New York?
Oh, spell it out. NEWYORK.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then on Insta, at Mondo, or the gram as the kids say, at Mondo.NYC. Facebook, if you just do an at Mondo, will come up. And where else? Check out our website, Mondo.NYC. We have an app coming out that is tracking. You could have a full schedule of where all the artists are. And let's say you can't go to the conference because your day job's kicking your butt. You know, if you download the app, you will see where all the artists are playing over the night, and Tatiana, and where Tatiana, most importantly, is playing.
Oh, that's going to be fun. I want to know where all the good parties are. So we'll have to connect offline because I don't know. I don't want to just go out that one night. I mean, I'd like to participate. I know that my friend from Peer Tracks, they're going to be there, and some other folks. So I'm looking forward to running into a lot of different people at this thing. for sure.
Yeah, and PureTracks has a really good panel. It's called, the Side Hustle panel. How to use blockchain to supplement your income. And they're going to be on a panel, I think, with Steam It. So
cool.
That's going to be, yeah.
Well, people listen to the Tatiana show on Steam It. It's on LRN.FM. It's on Let's Talk Bitcoin. It's on IPM Nation, all sorts of blockchain radio. And Steam It, I'm always posting on there. I'm one of the OG Steam It posters, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Is Ned going to be there? Is Ned going to be the panelist?
No, not
maybe
Ned.
I gotta go.
Andrew Levine is going to be the Andrew Levine. I think he's the head of the content, or like the content director. I forget his exact title.
Ned is my buddy. I'm sure Andrew's fine, but it would have been cooler to see Ned. But that's fine. I'm going to try and check out that panel too. One more time, guys, if you want to get your tickets, they're on sale today. If you use, what is it? Mondo Artist Coin, all one word. That's the code. Yep. And you get 30% off, which is pretty sizable. So if they get their thing today, so basically it's like $200 or $250, they've got a 4-day festival conference around music and tech. So I think that's pretty cool. Awesome.
Yep.
All right, rock and roll.
Josh is going to be our Mondo FOMO officer for 2019. He's going to be like, I missed out on Mondo, and here's how.
I like that.
I'm going to be totally spewing. I'll be in Australia at another conference down that way with gold and crypto and all that sort of jazz and jiggery pokery. But I'll definitely be downloading the app, and hopefully I'll get some screenshots and people posting.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks so much. It was really great chatting, and thanks. We'll see you next week. Let's bring up our next guest. This is somebody that we brought, that we met on the boat. Rafael, as I would say in Polish, Hauxley. It's almost like Huxley, which I like. Reminds me of some good Aldous-ing. Rafael went around the world on one Bitcoin.
Yeah,
he did 18 countries, 12 months, one Bitcoin. I want to know what the valuation was of that Bitcoin. He was born in Poland, but grew up in Portland. I will tell you, as an expert Polish speaker, he does speak well. I respect his Polish language. He did not tell me daj mi buzi or any other stupid stuff when people are like, I know Polish. I know a curse word. Don't ever do that. You don't seem cool. No one's impressed, people. But I am impressed with Rafael. Rafael, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Tatiana, thanks for having me. Yeah, it was so cool to meet another Polish person on the boat, and especially someone who was just that awesome. And I don't
thank you. You have a great taste in people.
Likewise. Now, I got to say, just traveling through all those 18 countries, one thing that surprised me the most is just how much Polish people are out there in the world. I don't know if it has something to do with all those world wars or whatever, but damn, we're just everywhere. It's crazy.
You know, the Polish people like travel. They're free. They like their exploration. I'm not surprised. Only the best people will find one another. And I guess that happened here. But tell us, so what was the valuation of the Bitcoin? You went around the world. What year was this? What happened? What countries did you go to?
Sure, yeah. So I started in August of last year, and I bought that one Bitcoin for about $4,800, right, towards the end of August over there. And everyone called me crazy, family, friends. They all said,
was that your first Bitcoin?
Well, it wasn't my first. It was my first whole Bitcoin, right? Up until that point, because I had just gotten started with Bitcoin maybe 3-4 months before embarking on the journey. I had bought little bits and pieces, little Satoshis here and there, and started collecting it. But that was definitely the first whole one, and it was a little nerve-wracking, Almost $5,000, you could buy a nice used car for that amount of money.
Yeah, wow. What an amazing thing to do, to just get in and just dive straight in and grab a Bitcoin and go for it. How did you find it? I mean, did you decide to be able to, what were your rules around this one Bitcoin? Were you allowed to convert it to euros? Were you allowed to, or did you have to always exchange Bitcoin? What were the rules?
Well, I spent the summer before the trip, I spent it really investigating, digging deep to see if I could do this. Not just fly by the seat of my pants, as it were, but to see if I could do it. And I set some ground rules, just as you pointed out there, Josh. And one of them was that I could trade that BTC for fiat. And here's the reason why. Now, maybe some Bitcoin maximalists and crypto maximalists might not like that answer, but here's why, is that you can't use any currency universally worldwide, not even the US dollar. And when I was in Cambodia or Myanmar, for example, I couldn't just go to any place and plop down a few US greenbacks and get something for it. And the same thing with Bitcoin, it was even more difficult. However, that one rule and that one challenge actually presented a number of fascinating opportunities. And the opportunities were that I met people because of it. So for me to trade that Bitcoin into fiat, sometimes I had to go to BTMs, but most of the time I actually had to meet people. And because of that challenge, I met some of the most fascinating people. Miners, other people on local Bitcoins who were trading it. And also one of the key things that I did was to find crypto communities around the world and let them know, give them like a little heads up before I got there. So a week or two before I got there, I'd get on meetup.com, I'd find a BTC community, I'd email the admin, tell them a little bit about what I was doing, and then ask to meet up, change a little bit of the money, or even stay a little bit. Wherever I could find. So for example, in Hong Kong, the Genesis block has a hostel above their entire little crypto hub there that accepts Bitcoin and Ethereum for staying at that place. So I do that directly. Or for example, in Shenzhen, there's a place called Bionic Brew, a great little brew pub. I was missing a burger and a beer, being months away from Portland. I was missing that. And I could pay directly with crypto. Or in Cambodia, in Siem Reap, out of nowhere, I ended up, through word of mouth, finding a guy who owned a tiny little hole-in-the-wall bar, and that he apparently accepted Bitcoin. And when I arrived, not thinking I'd find anything, because it's kind of rare, I actually found that on a whiteboard with marker, he had written down the drink special of the day, and it was Bitcoiner's Delight. And I had like Jameson in it and a few other things. So I could pay directly with Bitcoin, but I was able to make it all happen and get through those 18 countries.
That's cool, man.
It into fiat.
We sponsored the Lightning Network Hack Day here in Berlin. And by the way, folks, there's another Lightning Network Hack Day in New York coming up in a couple of months. So that'll be very exciting. Did you find anyone that was accepting Lightning Network payments? I mean, I know it's very cutting edge and super reckless, as they say, but was there any talk or anyone interested in that along the way?
Oh, there was certainly talk about it. There was certainly talk. As far as practical applications, I didn't find any. Maybe I just didn't look too hard enough, but there was a lot of talk, a lot of excitement about it. There was this one great meetup in Singapore where a lady did a presentation, and in it included the Lightning Network and how it would change things. And then she went on to talk about something called Mimblewimble. Anyway, yeah. It was fascinating all the way around. Certainly.
Cool, man. And did you keep a blog? How do people stay in touch and
well, now he's releasing it, right? What's the word now?
Yeah. So what's happening at the moment is that I wrapped it all up a few weeks ago, got off the road, recovered for a little bit, and then suddenly went on this cruise and met you guys. So just right back into it. Crypto moves 25/8. As it were. But at the moment, we have 178 hours of footage, just a gigantic amount to look through and chew through. But we're doing our best to zip that up. Got a trailer out there. It's on bitcoinaroundtheworld.com. And it just links to the YouTube, whatnot. You can check it out. But we're zipping that up and trying to get a nice full 90-minute documentary out of it. It's going to be a challenge. I'm not gonna lie, it's going to be a lot of challenge to try and get it to be as professional quality as possible, with as much as possible. So along the way, we're accepting donations and maybe sponsorships to help us get it done quicker. But the end point is that it will get done, even if it's going to take me another year just of editing and re-editing. I want this to be quality. And most of all, I want it to be as freely available as possible. So putting it up on YouTube or any other streaming service, I don't want there to be ads or royalties or anything like that, because I want to get it past the crypto echo chamber. I want it to really get out there to the people, because one theme that I noticed throughout the entire journey is that the crypto community is in a battle. Every single country, there's a battle going on, and that battle is between the truth and the lies. right? In the States and kind of in the world, we see the lies. First and foremost, we see with like Charlie Munger using this kind of propaganda kindergarten terms of comparing Bitcoin to baby brains of all things.
Okay, we're getting off the topic. We're getting people catch up.
But just to go back to it, the truth is that I found throughout the entire journey that I was on, the truth is that crypto is really setting people free. It's helping people. It's giving them financial freedom. It's giving them all types of freedom. And that's the message that really needs to come across.
Great. Yeah, so where can people catch up with you? What's the website?
It's the website's bitcoinaroundtheworld.com. And over there, there's photos from the journey and the trailer from the journey and my email address and all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks so much. We gotta keep it moving. We've got one more guest coming up, and we really appreciate hearing all about it. Guys, check it out. Go online. If you want to sponsor it, maybe talk to him directly, see what's going on. Rafael, awesome to see you. And our final guest for the day is Chris Eley, Chris Eli. I don't know about his last name, but I know about his first name because I'm always bothering him over at LTB and Bitcoin Magazine and BTC Media, which I think everybody knows those are my homies. They're down in Nashville. I'm going down there in just a couple of weeks. There's a big wedding going on. I'm very excited. Two of my best crypto friends are getting married to each other, which has been years in the making. I remember meeting David and Emily. Gosh, I don't even remember, but either way, I'm going to see the consummation of their love, and it's going to be awesome. And I'm going to hang with you, I think, right, Chris? You're down in Nashville.
I'm down here in Nashville, and that's about a month away from now. And the wedding's even closer. I think it's October 12th or something. So super excited about that. And ironically, my first research to get the job that I have now, I looked at your show interviewing David Bailey back in the day. This is
cool.
years ago now. Yeah. But no, it's been very, very cool. And distributed health is probably going to be, as we're claiming, it's going to be the biggest healthcare and blockchain event coming up here. Definitely the oldest, and we'd love to have a great time here in Nashville. So there'll be a whole bunch of live music at the event too. But yeah,
has to be in Nashville, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the best cities in America. There are very few places that make me consider leaving New York, but Nashville is definitely one of them. So give us a breakdown. So LTB, BTC Media, distributed as a conference series. What's been the evolution with you guys? Bitcoin Magazine, what's happening and what could people expect to see? And also, I want to make people come down to Nashville because I'm probably going to be there, and that would be a great excuse for us all to hang out. So give us a breakdown.
Okay, cool. So you're familiar with it. Let's make sure your audience is. Bitcoin Magazine was originally a magazine. David Bailey came in I think 2015 and said, hey, let's push this on the internet. Let's make a website, start doing editorial. We've been focused mainly on protocols, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Decred, Quantum, mainly focusing on the protocol basis, the platforms that are building out all these great things. Try to stay as editorially truthful and honest to our audience. And then from there, we kind of said, hey, we want to do more stuff. We want to be kind of the point of contact, the networking party that brings all these startups like your Ujos and let me think of, I can't think of one off the top of my head right now, but all these different startups, and bring them up into making it more mainstream, making them, giving them a platform to talk to your PwCs, your JP Morgans, your Accentures, your EYs, etc., giving them that platform they need. And that's how distributed got started right there. And have you come to 3 or 4 of the distributed events now, I think? Right.
I think I've been in at least 2. I did some interviews, but maybe I've been to 3. I'm not sure. But yeah, okay. I've come and hung out. And I got to say, there's really quality speakers. We're going to talk about this over the next podcast or 2 about professionalism in conferences and what makes a good conference, what makes it professional. And you guys always have the best speakers. And what I love about the BTC Media team overall, I know I'm giving them all the big ups in the world, but it's a family-owned business. Well, no, and you actually feel like you're dealing with somebody that really cares. I know with some other publications, you call them and you want to work with them, and you're just, another person bothering them, and how dare you interrupt my coffee? But with Bitcoin Magazine and all the folks over there, you're actually getting real people, and I don't know. I really think that's important as the space evolves. As we get more corporate interest, that core team of people that really care about crypto for the right reason, I think that it's done a really nice job of bringing all those people together. And, I've got a lot of friends on that team. So I got to give you
what I've got.
love. What do you got?
I've got the first edition of Bitcoin magazine.
Oh,
wow! At the ready. Wow!
At the ready. And check out the back. Bit instant ad. You know, all the way back, OG style.
Wow.
Yeah, there we go.
Those are collectors now, right? I think that you guys are selling them in like bundles. How much is a
really?
bundle?
What?
It's so if you want the full bundle now, because I think we're down to like 21 of the full ones. It's like $5,000 now, and we had I think some last week.
21.
Yeah, 21.
I feel like it still should be that much though, because I mean they're real collector's edition. I have some old random stragglers in my closet, and I'm not getting rid of them. I'm going to sell them for $1 million.
Those are the real ones. Those are the ones Vitalik is the editor-in-chief still on them. So yeah, it's those are the good stuff. That's the good stuff right there. I think actually there's whispers right now about us starting to reprint Bitcoin magazine starting next year. It wouldn't be monthly, but we might do something and it'll be a little different layout. But Pat is our head of product here at BTC Inc. And he's got some ideas to revitalize the brand a little bit on the print side. So he's super excited about it. So keep posted. There's some cool things happening. But back to what we were supposed to talk about. Distributed's happening. LTVN. I know you've been a huge supporter and help with the new push we've been doing. I know that Dave Hollerith and some of the other guys who are working with you have just been like saying you're killing it.
That's very nice. I like those guys too. They're my buds. Yeah,
it's been great because I was working on it for a while. I'm not gonna lie. I had to go on to other things, and they've been able to really culminate the group of people that want to build it out and see it go out into the world have been awesome. I know you've been helping with interviews with Distributed Dialogues. Go check those out because Tatiana's been doing some great interviews with some of our speakers and everything. And so it's just been fun watching it develop. And it's still we got some great news on the forefront that I know that we're going to be doing in the near future with you. So yeah, it's good. It's good. And
yeah, I'm excited. Well, I'm doing a new podcast. I got to tell people. I haven't really told everybody about the new podcast because I want to have at least the website up, and we're working on that over the weekend. Okay. So maybe next week we'll do an announcement or something.
All right, keep them coming back. Keep them coming back.
Well, people who've seen me at the 400 conferences I've been at lately, they know what it is because it's going to be. I think it's going to be hot. I'm very excited. All right, so we're going to wrap up the show. I want to give some love to stamps.com. Make sure you use Morose, the coupon code. People just go there, get your stamps. Don't even have to leave your house. Awesome sauce. But where can they go and hang out with us? How can they hang out with you and the BTC Beautiful. Media crew?
So one, you can come to Nashville here, and we have a code that we made literally today for you. That's Tatiana Morose show 20% or 20, just Tatiana Morose 20 at the end of it to do a discount, 20% discount on the event here in Nashville. So once again, that's Tatiana Morose 20, not the show. Tatiana
the number.
20. Yes, the number 20,
okay.
20 for all your listeners to come to the event, get 20% off. Also, you can find me personally on Instagram. I'm not on Twitter because I'm not about that life. But Instagram is Ceeley, Ceeley, which is my last name. And look out, it's tons of crypto stuff. I go to a lot of events also, and I love to show what's going on in the space on there. So yeah,
awesome. Well, thanks so much, everybody. It's been a really nice show today. Please make sure if you're liking our show, go to iTunes. You can give us stars and say we're wonderful. You can follow us on Twitter, Queen Tatiana. Go to the website, thetatianashow.com. Check out Josh's stuff at Voltoro.com. My stuff, TatianaMorose.com. You can find out more about Crypto Media Hub, my company. We're doing all sorts of cool stuff. And Crypto Compared. Those guys, they've been showing us love for years. We show them love. You can compare all your cryptos in one place. Yeah. And don't forget, the Bitcoin CPA. Don't leave your taxes until next year. You're going to be all crying. Just call up Kirk. They're going to help you. And thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Peace out.